Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 58 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. I'm ready to get started with Steve's Carts and Railcraft and all that cool stuff in the Mushroom Kingdom. Alright guys, so let's get started with our Age 180, which is my Mushroom Kingdom. Again, not sure why the book should have been named Mushroom Kingdom, but see if I can fix that later. I want to have a good amount of different cart things going on here. First off, let's grab over here and see what I can get cart-wise. I've already got 53 tracks. I'm going to steal all of them. And request, I don't know, can I get like a stack of them, let's say? Would that like be a ridiculous amount of resources? Probably. Request 64 tracks, please. Yoink. Right down in there. We should see a bunch of items zipping around and all these items flowing all over the place. And yeah, craziness happening. But fun craziness. And we should be able to sneak back upstairs here and see a bunch of carts spilling out. So I should see about, I don't know, that many. Perfect. That wasn't so bad. Yeah, not bad at all. How am I for creosote oil, by the way, after requesting all these tracks and playing around? Still plenty of it. Maybe throw another stack of coal into my thingy, whatchamacallit there. Let's request a stack while I'm here. And how am I for iron as well? Let's do this. I'm going to try and get about another stack of that cool stuff that I need to throw into the other machine. Here comes all my iron. And while I'm here, I'll probably want to grab a good amount of coal coke. Oh yeah. So we'll sneak over to this guy. Oh yeah, plenty of coal coke and creosote oil. I'll throw some coal in there. And this thingy here, you can see my blast furnace used a lot of coal coke and only got myself a little bit of steel. So let's like put up a whole stack there, get my steel ingot going. That'll get me some more steel, which again is used. Oh look, there's the rest of my coal. I was wondering what was taking that thing so long. Ta-da! The steel here is an important resource for a little bit later in the game with Railcraft. But that's alright, we'll get to it, don't worry. So plenty of tracks. Gonna need some resources. I really wish my ender chests were working across dimensions, but I'm not gonna worry too much about that at the moment. What I might want to do is get some, you know what I think? I might want to get a Steve's cart item here, probably the simple AI miner. Look at all the resources I need for this. Craziness. Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff. Whoa. That's some craziness for real. The simple AI miner is going to go mine for me. I think what I'd like to do is, because my ender chests aren't working across dimensions yet, by the way, at the moment, XComp, by the time I'm recording this, XComp has a beta release out for Mistcraft that fixes ender chests. I have a beta copy of it yet, but I'm not using it in the Let's Play until it's public. But don't worry, he will have it. Probably by the time this video airs, he probably would have already had it released, because it should be released any day now. So let's do this. I'm going to set up a Steve's cart over there to start mining for me. I'm going to need a good amount of tracks for that, and I'm also going to need all this craziness. So let me go get the items I need, and I'll be back. I'm going to need a little bit more iron. You know, I swear I made a crowbar. I really do. Can't imagine what happened to it. But I went through digging through all my chests. It's probably around here somewhere. But let's make another one. It's not terribly expensive. Hey, a crowbar, cool. Remember I told you guys in a previous episode, I even remember saying this, the crowbar is basically Railcraft's version of a wrench. Now I should have most of the items on me that I need for the simple AI miner with liquid sensors. Cool. I'm going to need some track, which I took out of my inventory, a diamond pickaxe, and a diamond shovel. Hopefully that's really the only time I'll have to make those guys. Diamond pickaxe, diamond shovel, and I put my tracks in here. So I just need one of them, no problem. There we go. I should be good to make a simple AI miner. Sweet. This guy is cool. I can't wait to show you how he works. I'm going to get ready to head over to the other dimension real quick. Let me just put away some of my goodies. But one of the things I might want to make before I put everything away, I might want to make from the Steve's Carts mod, what's the name of this item that I'm looking for? It's in here somewhere in NEI. Probably towards the end. This guy, the cargo manager. I'm also going to want some advanced detector rails, but the cargo manager is pretty much what I'm after here. All this other cool stuff. Yeah, this is all Railcraft stuff. Cargo manager is just 3 chests with some iron ingots around it. And the advanced detector rail? Oh, that's easy. Yeah, I can make some of those. Cool. Bet you never seen a recipe that uses 3 chests before, have you? Cargo Manager, another cool guy from Steve's Carts. And remember the Advanced Detector Rail. I can make some of those, no problem. Probably want one more. Just a handful of them to have with me. Perfect. Alright, I will be back in the Mushroom Kingdom, and I'll catch up with you guys there. Alright, hey Mushroom Kingdom, how's it going? Oh sweet, this block is stuck. How'd that happen? Okay, cool. All fixed? All fixed. Don't know how that happened. Maybe because I jumped ages while that was stuck that way? That would be cool. Let's go find a good spot to set up our simple AI miner. Now we're going to want a couple of things set up here for this to work out right. I'm probably going to want a little house. Maybe want a house. I don't know. We'll see. Let's just clear away some terrain real fast. Alright, so let's set the simple AI miner on his way. I'm going to lay some tracks out like that. And that'll get him started by placing the simple AI miner right here, I think. Just give him a little nudge in that direction, make sure he's facing the right way. Yeah, that looks good so far. If I open up the interface here, maybe push him back a little bit further. That's good. I didn't bring any fuel with me, did I? See, this is why I knew I'd have to bounce back and forth between worlds. I'm going to need some fuel, but I'll go get some in a minute. But basically, this guy has a bunch of components, which all work out pretty well. Let's go get the items we need, and I'll be right back. And while I'm here in the overworld, I'm going to grab my Klein Star and use it to pull out some alchemical chests. 3 of them ought to do. And you can see they're not really a huge amount of EMC. They really only cost about a diamond each, maybe a little bit more. So they're pretty cheap overall. Alchemical chests are a great storage medium. Alright, back here. I'm going to make sure to have one in my house. That's just going to store some excess items as things go along. For example, I brought a whole stack of crated coal with me. That should be enough to get going. Now, I can't just put it in a crafting table. I have to actually right-click it, don't I? No biggie. Cool. And the excess I put in here. Anything else I want to store in there for the time being? No, I'm good. I did also bring some coal coke with me. I'm not sure if this guy uses coal coke. He should, though. And it should last for more. Hey, there we go. Plenty of fuel. Where are you going? Alright, yeah. You're bouncing back and forth. Chill out for a minute, would you? Nobody told you to go yet. That's okay. The builder here, this component here, you need to put some tracks in there for him to be able to build with, to be able to, you know, continue along. So right now he doesn't have enough track to move, obviously. He's bouncing back and forth, he's flipping out. So if we just give him some tracks, he'll use them to build forward. Here is his little storage inventory area of any items he collects as he mines for us. This is the Advanced AI Miner. It's probably one of the more advanced carts in Steve's Carts. I skipped a bunch of them to get here, but trust me, like, you know, it's definitely one of the cooler ones. There's a bunch of other neat things here as well, and I'll get to all them, don't worry. And down here is showing you where he's mining. So right now, he's set to mine at Y level 64. And if we check, we're right now at Y level 65, so that's not a problem. And if I click down here, you can see he's going to try and dig down a little bit. So note that he's like trying to dig right in front of him, right? We don't really want this to happen. So let's get this guy here to block him. He might even dig through that. See? Yeah, he will. He doesn't mind that there's a block there. He'll dig right through it. So by telling him to dig deeper, he will do that. And any items he picks up are going to go right here in this inventory. All right, but I'm going to tell him to go down even deeper than that. I want to send him real deep into the world. Like, hey, how's it going deep? Way down. And these little colors here are basically an indication of what types of ores you might find at this level. So you have a chance of finding diamonds at that higher level here, but I'm going to send them all the way down to Y level 9 or 10. That might be a good spot. 9. Why not? Okay, now all I got to do is give him some track. And he should use the track to start digging his way down. So note that he's going to dig, place down a new piece of track, and he's pulling it out of the inventory here. So I'm going to pull some more tracks in. And while that's happening, I'm going to cover up this ground here because I don't really want this big old mess that I've got. And right about here is where I'm going to place my cargo manager along with my advanced detector rail. Boom. How's it going? Now the cargo manager is a ridiculously cool block. I really like this thing. And part of what I'm going to need is a few more of these things. Let's get down here and take this guy out. There's going to be some more work to be done with this AI miner. I'm not quite done with him yet, but yeah, we'll get back to him, don't worry. Now the cargo manager is super complex. As you can see, it has a bunch of cool capacities, like a bunch of neat things you can do. What I'm probably going to wind up doing with this guy, I debated whether I wanted to use him in the overworld or back here on Mushroom Land, but you know, Mushroom Kingdom is pretty much where I decided to go with. But there's going to be some functionality that might have been cooler to do in the overworld. If I decide to change it, it's easy enough to pick up the minecart and bring him back to the overworld with me. Now what this thing does is it basically works as a cargo manager. The machine here will accept items from the cart and put items in the cart. It's a pretty complex interface, so right now what I'm basically going to tell it, okay, you can see that there's a little colored square on each side of this thing. The side with the advanced track here is the blue side. So we're going to tell it that the blue side here, right now it's set up for items in the cargo manager to go into the cart, but we don't want that to be the case. We actually want the cart to drop off all its items into the cargo manager, and by clicking on this arrow it reverses that. Clicking here tells it what it's going to drop off. Right now it's set to drop off everything, but we could tell it to drop off fuel, we could tell it to drop off rails, we could tell it to do all this other cool stuff. But for now, we'll tell it just to drop off everything, okay? Then I want to loop around the cargo manager. Dun 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 dun. And here we'll put this thingy, and this guy can go right here, and then to here, here, and here. Now we want this to eventually loop downwards, so that's why I grabbed some switch tracks and brought them with me, okay? And a crowbar to give this guy a good whack in the right direction. So I might need to drop this guy and figure out exactly how to get this to, you know, switch track in the direction I want it to. So what it should do is this right now, this thing should come up here. He might loop around this way and hit the red side first, and then hit the blue side, and then continue down. So that should be fine. But we're going to tell it, hey, get out of here, buddy, that the red side, let's tell it to take from the cargo manager and place into the cart. We'll tell it this stuff here, the red. This is an engine, so what we're basically telling it is to put fuel in there. So by putting fuel in the inventory, it'll pull any fuel that it's got in the cargo manager at the moment and fill up as much as it can the engine slot of this guy down here. And look at him go. He's having a blast. How you doing down here? Pretty dark, I know. Sorry. Apologies. I might get a torch cart eventually to follow him, but I want to let this guy run. So you can see he's picking up all kinds of goodies. Plenty of fuel left, and plenty of tracks. I might want to also tell him to refill his tracks, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we're probably going to want to do that too. So, hey, get out of here, you. So right now, the red side, we're telling it, and dude, you're really just going to stand there? Come on, go away. The red side, we're telling it, all right, refuel the cart with any fuel that you have. Now I also want to refuel it with any tracks that it might have, but I don't want to put one, or I could have it do that on the yellow side, but instead I'm going to have it do it on the red side here by clicking on this arrow. Note that now it's saying the red side will fuel both the fuel, the coal, and any tracks that I've got. So if I put tracks in here, it should also put as many tracks as it can into the cart when it comes back up. So let's give this guy a minute to finish up. The green and the green and the yellow side won't do anything. And there's even more functionality to this thing, to be honest with you. Like these words max here, you can change. So you can tell it like put one item, 3, 8, 16, or 32, or 64 individual items, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or max stacks of items. But I'm just going to leave them all at max for now and head down here and check on this guy. So let's make sure we light this area up enough because we don't need enemies. I'm cool with not having skeletons and zombies crashing my party. Definitely low on torches, though. Need a few more of them. That's alright. So let's let this guy mine and mine and mine. I'll be back in a few minutes when he's done. Got some excess coal. Gonna just drop it right up in here. Ta-da! And hopefully I have this thing all properly configured. We'll find out pretty quickly, though, if I did something wrong. Let's see, how's my cart doing down here? Still digging. I should really get a torch placer to come after him, but not a big deal. Alright, I'll be back again, like I said, when he's full. This inventory right here, by the way, you can put gravel and 1 or 2 other types of items, I forget exactly what, and basically he'll use it to build bridges with, and he'll build bridges over lava or water lakes if he needs to. That's pretty neat. You know what I might want to do just to be extra safe? Is probably set something up like this that'll just kind of stop the cart in his path. So what he should do, and maybe we'll see if it really works, but I don't want him to go down again. I want him to come up once and make sure this is all working the way I want it to, and then we'll talk about him staying down there and some other things. I want to hook up some more carts. And probably the best way to ensure that he gets back up to the surface is to put a little piece of raw beef in there. That should send him back up as soon as he fills up his inventory. Full inventory, away he goes. Good job, little AI miner. He's smart. He's like, yeah, I'm full. I gotta get back up to the surface. Which is exactly where he's coming. So come on, let's roll. So let's see what happens when he hits this cart. I forget if he's gonna turn right around and bounce back or what. But if we watch here, the inventory on this thing, all of a sudden it's going to say like, yeah, I'm pulling all the items out of here. We're pulling everything, including the coal coke, which we had in there, and also the tracks that we had. So not a big deal. It'll refuel the tracks and the coal coke and everything. If I wanted to ensure that it only pulled items out, there is an item thing here. I think it looks like a chest, so I'll probably change that in a moment. But he should, oh look, he turned right around and went back down. Alright, that's not what I wanted you to do. So get back here. I'm done with you moving and stuff. So I guess he turns around. I think in older versions he actually used to... Oh yeah, what are you doing now? Oh, you're out of rails. Ha, yeah, that's alright. In older versions I don't think he turned around. I think he went straight forward. So, not a problem. Actually kind of good that he's doing it that way. I don't have to deal with this thing anymore. Get this out of the way. He should drop off his items. Oh look, now he continued along and went straight. Maybe because I was standing there. Alright, so this thing's going to refuel his tracks and coal. Cool. And now he's going to try and go forward again, but that's not what I want. Stop it, you. Alright, simple AI miner with liquid sensors. Good to go. Nice. Alright, I'll be back in a few. So you can see this guy did a nice job of digging around down there. I can change this to that. And the chest here, I think, is going to only pull out items from the slot and not pull out fuel or tracks, which is probably a good thing. Definitely a good thing. So I've decided I'm back here in my overworld. I'd like to try my hand at the torch placer. I'm going to need about 20 iron ingots, some glowstone, and some redstone. That shouldn't be a problem. I can handle that. Let's take care of it. So, down here, going to need some glowstone. Sure. Some redstone and some iron ingots. Alright, looks like I have everything I need. Let's go ahead and grab a torch placer. This is a pretty cool little guy. We'll head over to our world there, but there's one more thing I think I'd like to try and make, and that's what's called an anchor cart. Now this guy is part of Railcraft, not Steve's carts, but it's a mine cart with a world anchor in it. And a world anchor is some obsidian, some gold, and some diamonds. Cool. A little expensive, but, you know, well worth it. And some obsidian there was there, right? Alright, let's give this a try, crafting it up. Some obsidian, some gold, and some diamonds gets us a world anchor. Now the world anchor, what the heck is that? That is a chunk loader. Same thing, pretty much. I think it might do things a little differently than the advanced or the additional pipes chunk loader, but it's the same basic functionality. Forge basically has built-in chunk loading now, like hooks that you can do. I don't know, I'm not a programmer, but there's basically Forge hooks for chunk loading. And what that means is it makes it easier for programmers to say, hey, I want to force load a chunk. It's a little bit easier for them to write the code that force loads the chunk. So we got chunk loaders. Cool. Gonna grab a mining cart here and probably put this iron away where it belongs. Go away. Good. And if I combine my world anchor with my mine cart, I get an anchor cart. And what this is basically a portable chunk loader. How cool is that? If you hit F9, it's not going to show you the chunks that are loaded, but in Railcraft, I think you can hit F12, and it puts kind of little purple sparkle particles going on that'll do that for you, basically. So, alright, fix yourself there, Mr. Broken Thingy-mabob. Gotta be careful about that. So what I'm thinking is, maybe, if I combine my simple AI miner with my anchor cart and my torch placer, that could be fun. I don't know. Let's try it out. So, look at you, getting in my way. Let's try it here. If I place my simple AI miner, and I honestly haven't really done this too much yet, so I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll put this guy down and give him a little nudge to make sure he's facing the right direction. Right behind him, I'll place my torch placer. Okay, and right behind that, I'll place my world anchor. Like I said, haven't totally tried this out yet, but let's check them out. The torch placer here has a pretty simple interface, and this is actually a solar-powered machine instead of a, fuel-powered one. You can put fuel in there, and this little guy is telling you because he's all black that he's running off of fuel. If you click here, it'll change to yellow to run off solar power, and you can change it also to yellow black to use both solar power and fuel. And here's where your torches go. I'm going to place all my torches in there except maybe one. Why not all of them? Sure. I got plenty of coal. And then over here, I want to hook up. Now, what do I do with all my coal, by the way? I think I put it up here in my chest. Nope, I lied. Oh, you know what? I know what I did with it. Let's just get a few. Get my torches back. There we go. I left it in this thing. All my fuel's in here. See? Kinda smart. Know what I'm doing. A little bit. Not really. Grab some tracks and grab just a handful of coal coke. For now, 20 should be way more than enough. Now the thing is, these carts are all separate carts, right? They're not going to, run together. See, if I push them, they're all separate entities, and they're not going to, connect together as one giant train, unfortunately. Of course, they'll be able to push each other, but they won't work as one individual train. Unless, of course, I get my crowbar. If I right-click on one cart, like this guy, and then right-click on another cart, like this guy, it says link created. Now, when I push one, it's going to pull the other one along with it, and vice versa. How cool is that? And I can also link this guy to here, link created. Sweet. So now they're all going to act as one little train, and they should connect together and do some cool stuff. Let's open up our engine here. Set this guy back to Y level 9. Can I drag him or anything? No, probably not. I got to click a bunch. There we go. And we'll go with the tracks and some fuel. And hopefully this thing will behave himself. Let's see what happens. Whoosh, down they go all together. See? The one in the front's pulling the rest. That's kind of neat, right? I'm pleased with that. Now I think the torch placer just did its thing right here. We'll see what happens. Hey, look, you're placing torches. Good job, dude. I don't know why you're insisting on placing so many torches, but maybe he'll figure himself out eventually. Now, Steve's carts isn't intended to be trained together like this, so I'm not sure what's going to happen when it gets to the bottom and wants to turn around. This is kind of a little bit of an experiment for me, but we'll find out, I'm sure. So this thing keeps trying to turn himself around because he's considering the cart in front of him as being like in his way. So he's trying to turn around and spin the other direction, and it's just acting all kinds of funny, which is probably why it placed so many torches together like that, but oh well. We'll see what happens. Like I said, experimenting. I guess a good way to get him to turn around or simulate him trying to turn around is to steal all his tracks here. So what he should do is dig out the rest of the area in front of him and then take all his tracks, and he won't be able to, keep placing a track forward. He'll try and turn around, and hopefully that'll work, but I guess we'll find out, right? Here goes nothing. Oh, look, he's able to push the carts up. How cool is that, huh? Nice. I'm interested to see what happens when he gets to the top here. Looks like it's taken a lot of effort to push him up. It's a lot slower than it was before, but that's alright. I'll be back when we get to the top. Alright, like I said, real interested to see what happens when this guy gets up here. He looks like he's almost there. Come on, dude. Well, it took a lot of effort, but he was able to push some other carts up with him. Now, I'll be interested to see what happens since this guy is going to hit the track first. It shouldn't stop on that one. Looks like it's okay there. And this guy should stop and empty out all his wares. Dude, that's perfect. It's like working exactly the way I wanted to. I love it. And he'll continue along, and he'll fill up the inventory with coal, track, and coal coke. Yeah, nice. Cool. Once it realizes it has nothing more to do, it's going to head on down. Oh, that's not good. You're heading down in that direction. No, not what I wanted to see. Alright, I'm going to have to improvise on that a little bit, because I don't think that's going to work too well. What happened there? Did you, eat your own carts and stuff? Oh yeah, see, you're freaking out. You're not happy with this. No, sir. So I'm going to take your tracks out here, make you head back up to the top, and I have an idea on how to solve this. I think he'll turn around if I get rid of the track in front of him. So if I zip up here real quick before he gets here, let's see if I'm right about that. So if I get this out of here, come on. And we make this guy the blue side. There we go. Now you're going to bounce right back and go? No, you're not. You're going to try and do that. Okay, that's interesting. Going to have to figure out a way to solve that in a minute. See, so what's going to happen is, as he comes back up here, he's going to get the tracks he needs out of this inventory, and then he's probably going to start digging straight down in this direction. Let's see if I'm right. No, he didn't. Okay, cool. Why didn't you do that? I thought you would. Alright. Well, look at this. While I was thinking about how to solve this, I looked like I hit around Y10, and he's going forward now, and if you saw a second ago, he just found some diamonds. Awesome. Cool. And, yeah, don't right-click on him with that thing, because it is an entity there. He will pull him forward. So now that he's hit about Y level 9, remember, he's at 9, my head's at 10, so we should be going forward now for a while. So I'm going to, again, think about what I want to do. I'm going to steal his tracks and his fuel and probably just pick them up all together. I don't know. We'll steal his fuel. That should make him head back up to the top, deposit his stuff, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, I came up with the craziest solution to this, but it seems to work. It was a little bit of testing involved, but I got it. Check out what this does, alright? Remember I said that the AI miner will turn around if he runs out of rails in his inventory? So here's what I did, right? Put up a little block here on the blue side that says, hey, put all the items you need into the cart. So give it fuel, give it rails, and pull out any items. But then it's going to continue along in this direction, where it's going to stop at the yellow side. And I'm going to take all the rails out of the cart and put it in the cargo manager. Haha. Okay, and then it's going to not have any rails and continue along this path, where it's going to reach the dead end, realize it doesn't have any rails, and immediately turn back around. Or it's going to hear it doesn't have any rails to put in, so it'll just continue along. And then it's going to get here to the blue side, where it's going to have resupply the rails from the cargo manager. And then it'll continue along the path. So this should keep it facing the right direction and doing everything I want. So let's see if I'm right about that. Dum-diddy-dum-dim-dum. There we go. Link you with you, link you with you. Everybody's happy. Okay, over here I'm going to make sure there's plenty of fuel. So we'll put all the fuel we can right in here, along with a bunch of rails. And believe it or not, I actually tested this already to make sure it worked. So I want to make sure it works again. I want to face the carts in this direction. So if I give it a little push there, it should be facing that way. So now when I give it coal, okay, it's going to come along and it's going to dump out all its items, but it's going to pick up coal and tracks, okay? And then it's going to continue along and get to the yellow side, where it's going to deposit its tracks in the cargo manager. Continue forward. It doesn't have any tracks in its inventory anymore. Uh-oh. It's going to turn back around and continue along, or it's going to stop at the yellow side. Going to try and put tracks in, but there's none to do. The blue side will get the tracks and put it back into the cart, and then it's going to continue along, where I'm going to tell it to mine at Y level 9. Yeah, didn't want to do that. But, you know, it knows what to do. Don't worry. So I'm going to follow it down and make sure it's doing everything I want it to. So that is kind of cool. I like it. Come on, buddy. Takes a while to get down there after a bit. And then this little thing, I'm going to give it some more torches. There we go. Give it about that many. So I'm going to make sure this guy knows he should be mining at Y level 9. He's already dug down this deep, so he'll just continue going straight. But for now, I'll just tell it Y level 9. There we go. Or maybe he won't go straight. He'll try and go up. Ha, that's funny. I can manually fix that in a moment. See? Yeah. He was going to go back up to 56. How funny is that, huh? So the torch placer there is going to place torch stuff all over the place, but I'll fix this manually in a second. I'll be back once I'm ready to fix him. Actually, steal about half your tracks. Thank you, sir. Very kind. Sweet, everything's working properly. Let's steal his tracks and just make sure. He should immediately turn right around once he realizes he doesn't have any more stuff and push everything up the hill. Dude, he's practically the little engine that could here trying to get these things up this ramp, isn't he? He's like, oh yeah, that's a lot of work. Alright, he just reached the top. This is just the final test to make sure it works alright, which I'm thinking it probably will. There we go, he's depositing his items. Here comes some gold too, I think. Yeah, there we go. Nice. And then he'll drop off all the, there we go, look at that. Got rid of all the tracks that he had in his inventory, continuing along. Stops. Oh, he tried to dig. Didn't really want him to do that. You know, if I put my cargo manager at Y level 9, I'd be fine. I might wind up doing that. But for now, I think it's a pretty good wrapping up point for this episode. So this is Direwolf20 signing off on episode 58 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Come back next time. I definitely have more I want to do with Steve's carts and Railcraft. There's so many cool things to do with them, and I really haven't scratched the surface just yet. So definitely plan to do more with them. Alright guys, hope you guys are enjoying the rails and stuff, and I'll be back next time. Take it easy.